What's up, everyone? Happy Monday and welcome to the Franchise Empire newsletter. As usual, and may not be Monday for you because you may be watching the replay. Anyways, my name is Tarek Johnson. I am the CEO and founder of Franchise Empire, and I'm here with Mr. Mark Magerman, who is our head of brokerage and very successful multi-unit franchisee himself. And thanks for joining, as usual, Mark.
Thanks, Tarek. Happy to be here. It is for those listening live, Cinco de Mayo, which is, back in my younger days, I would be nowhere close to being working on Cinco de Mayo. I'd be, several margaritas in at the end of this afternoon. But again, such is life. But happy Cinco de Mayo to anybody who celebrates that date. I don't even know what Cinco de Mayo. I don't even know what it stands for, to be honest with you. That's probably insulting, but I have no idea why it's a holiday. But I guess it is. Anyway,
that's a good. I actually don't know as well. But now I'm going to need to look it up.
Yeah, so am I. Anyway, it's nice to be here. Thanks.
Yes, sir. All right, cool. Let's see. We'll jump in. Today we're going to cover, as you guys can see, recurring revenue franchise that shows 1.1 million in sales. A resale showing 914K in annual sales. Plus we have 90 other resales currently that we have pulled. Highlighting a client that went from Jersey Mike's to Scalable Success. Interesting title of that. And is buying a franchise in 2025 a huge mistake? Cons and pros. I thought the phrase was pros and cons, but someone decided to change that up and be interesting. All right, so this is what we're gonna dive into today. For those of you who are here live, drop us a comment. Curious what city and state you guys are tuning in from. Would love to know. And as we're going through this, if you have questions, let us know in the chat, and we'll be able to answer your questions by the end, for sure, so that you can get your questions answered, and that'd be fantastic. If you're watching the replay, drop me one word, replay, and just let me know that you're watching the replay. Really helps us here. We got Trey in Raleigh, North Carolina. What's up, Trey?
Hi, Trey.
Okay. Oh, and let's see. I have another link for you guys. Let's see. Let me put this here. I will drop this link. This newsletter already went out 8 a.m. on Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern on Sunday morning. So if you aren't on our list to get these newsletters in your inbox every Sunday morning, because that's when we send it out, then you can see at the bottom of the screen, it says you can subscribe by going to franchiseempire.com/newsletter. But I've also just dropped the link to the actual article on our website, in case you weren't already on the email. Let's see. We got Zlayton out in Munich, Germany. Interesting.
Whoa, nice.
Yeah, pretty cool. Thanks for tuning in from all out there. We got you guys got me with the names that
I'm going to go with Katchen.
Katchen?
I'm going to go with Katchen. Great name.
Yep. Okay. Long Island, New York. Nice. Katchen. I got family in Long Island. I actually, my wife and I got married in Oyster Bay, which I believe is in Long Island. And I was born in Queens, actually. We got George out from Houston, Texas.
George. Welcome.
And we got the famous Kareem from Raleigh as well, North Carolina area. And then we got Jason.
I think we know Kareem.
I think so too. The name sounds familiar.
It does sound familiar.
And we got Jason out in DFW area. So good stuff. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Well, let's dive in. Today, our featured resale is Certa Pro. And if you guys have been to any of our newsletters before, you've probably seen this brand before. They have some of the more robust inventory of resales. Part of that is because they've been around since the 90s. So when you have brands that have been around for that long, Sometimes people are ready to retire, the life situations change. So you tend to have a pretty strong inventory of resales available and accessible because they've been around for such a long time. So Certa Pro Painting, established in 92. They have nearly 500 franchise units throughout the US and Canada. So it's almost impossible to get a new territory with them. Pretty much the 90% of people are going to gain entry through buying a resale, although they do have some new territories left as well. So we can
Not
help
much
you
though,
with
Tarek.
other.
I'll be honest. I mean, just in what we do every day, we always are checking into it, and I don't think I've been able to find a new opportunity for Certa Pro with any of our candidates who are interested. So again, 500, that's about as sold out as you get.
Yeah, I mean, it's very true. That's why some of these good brands, when they come around, people are like, maybe I'll wait another year. Like, hey, you know that
Yeah.
brand you were excited about? They like your territory may not be available in a year. Entrepreneur Magazine ranks them the number one franchise in home services, although those Entrepreneur Magazine rankings are just representative to really size of the franchisor. It really has nothing to do with franchisee success, by the way. Just an important thing to note. But this specific location is in Charleston, South Carolina. It was started in 2003, asking price of $550K. The rolling 12 months of revenue, $914K. Just in case someone's not familiar with the term rolling 12 months, Mark, do you want to explain what that term means for folks?
Yeah, it's actually more advantageous if you're looking to buy to know what the rolling 12 months. What rolling 12 months means is the last 12 months. So if we're looking at May, let's assume that they're up to date and it's through April. It would be from May of last year, 2024, through April of 2025. So why that's helpful is they're doing 914,000 in the last 12 months. If they would have said to you they did 914,000 in 2024, it would beg the question, well, how so far? What's looking like 2025 looking like? So it's always great. And to me, if they're presenting it as a rolling number, it moves up the ladder in terms of potential for me, because it sounds like that the person selling is savvy enough to understand what buyers are looking for. So that's what rolling 12 months is. And I would never even go forward on a brand resale if it didn't have that.
100%. Appreciate that explanation. After I said it, I figured that, you know what, there's probably some people that may not be familiar with that.
It's a very fair point, because if people don't ask, they won't know.
100%. Guys, cash flow, it's available upon request. We do get that information, so I do have it. We have it. But if you want it, you got to hit us up. So you can go to franchiseempire.com/resales. If you're in that market overall and you want to, you're interested in this specific opportunity, we can provide you with some of the details that you're looking for and see if it's the right fit and connect you with the franchisor. If so, but by the way, Certa Pro also has some resales available that what look to be strong resales from the information that we get provided in Thousand Oaks, California, Atlanta, Georgia, Chatham, Warren area of New Jersey, Bartlett, Tennessee, and Virginia Peninsula, Virginia. So in case you're in or around any of those markets and you're in the market for resale, then you can go to franchiseempire.com/resale. Our take on this has not changed, which is that no experience is needed in painting or home improvement. This opportunity is really about leading a team, especially with a resale. You're coming in. There's already either established subcontractor relationships with painters, and some, depending upon how established your business is, you may even have some full-time employees as painters. So you got to be able to come in there and lead your team. If it's the painters, your admin, your salesperson, whoever it is, you got to be able to lead them, right? So ideally, you have some sort of leadership management experience, but you will get support from Certa Pro with training, field training, online training, technology, marketing, all of the franchise specific and industry specific things they will train you on. Ta-da! That's the benefit of a franchise, ladies and gentlemen. That's the whole point of a franchise system. And Certa Pro, one of the strongest home services franchises in the industry. Like I said, strong hands-on training, 5 weeks. They have a support program for their franchisees, and they have a 90% plus retention rate amongst their franchise network over the past 3 years, which is very impressive. And basically, what that hints at is that they have happy franchisees that are making money, because you probably wouldn't say if both were not the case. The Certa Pro franchise system boasts a strong item 19, which is where they can show how much money their franchisees are making. The average for all franchisees that have been open at least 1 year plus in their 2024 franchise disclosure document was just over 2 million. We need to check to see if their 2025 is now out. And the number one goal of Certa Pro painters is to help franchisees grow big, profitable businesses. So they're not looking for someone who just wants to build a kind of a little old thing. They want people who want to grow big, strong businesses doing millions of dollars a year in revenue, and people that want to, own big markets and build something that's really strong. And by the way, last but not least, we have a list of over 90 plus resales with various franchise brands spanning the United States and Canada. So if you are interested in having a conversation to see what may be available in your market, then you can go to, again, that website below. There is, resales have a limited inventory, right? So sometimes people find out, hey, there's nothing in my area. And then they go, you know what? Actually, I would like to know, though, if I were to buy something new, what options are there? What other brands? What other things? And so like your conversation is not limited with us on this topic. Anything else to say here, Mark, real quick before we move on?
Yeah, a couple of things. So back to some of the points Tarek made. Again, maybe goes without saying, but understand if you're interested in a resale franchise, you will ultimately be signing a franchise agreement and becoming a franchisee to that network. So sometimes I've had conversations that people don't realize that. So you would be becoming a franchisee. You'd be just investing in an existing. So please understand that you'd be making the 10-year franchisee commitment and follow the FDD and all those governing rules. That's one. Number two, the $2 million average for all franchisees is amazing. That's an amazingly high number in the painting industry. Most really good ones are like in the 1.2 to 1.5. So that's a leg up. That's a fantastic opportunity. And just to piggyback on what Tarek said, so many people that we speak to just say, I would only get involved in franchising if I'm buying a resale because I want that cash flow. I got to replace my income before I would think it would come. But Tarek's point about having experience, don't underestimate that. If you've never managed a business before and never managed a staff or a team of people, and you buy this business that's putting out $1 million and probably has an arsenal of, 6 to 12 maybe painters on staff, if you don't know how to manage those people, you're going to have a lot to lose if they don't stay with you. So please understand that your number one criteria looking into these resales is, have you managed a business before? And if you have, great. If not, you might want to think about going and looking at something new, because that's really more of a crawl, walk, run opportunity. So just a couple of comments I thought I'd make.
Yeah, 100%. Spot on. By the way, hello, Joe from Wilmington, North Carolina. We got Esteban in Vegas. Yeah, we got quite the diversity. I
wonder if he's a Golden Knight fan. I'm a big hockey fan, and I'm dreading the fact that my Bruins never made the playoffs this year. So I'm kind of rooting for the Golden Knights because their coach used to be a Bruins coach. So, Esteban, if you're a Knights fan, I'm joining you. I'm on the bandwagon.
Nice. Hey, at playoff time, you have to hop on some sort of bandwagon, right?
Well, usually my team's in the mix, so it's just very disturbing. We'll move on.
Yeah. Okay, I see what our marketing team did here. Okay. They they chose one of our success stories of someone who bought a Certa Pro resale is what they did. So Liz and Dean, yep. I've had so many conversations with Liz and Dean, just a phenomenal couple, just a power couple for sure. In their early 30s, Dean co-owned some Jersey Mike's, a Jersey Mike's location, wanted a new challenge. Liz was actually working in the Jersey Mike's, and she had dreamed of running her own business, but she had worked with some brokers, didn't have great experiences, and California, if you're not familiar, they can have some strict licensing requirements around home services overall. But they didn't give up. I think we were their fourth broker at the time that they had worked with, and they actually really liked our zero to profit franchise system because there's a whole set of modules. Mark runs a group call with all of our clients every week. We have a private Facebook group. We just have really transformed the buying process to create a community throughout the process and all of the online modules. Anyways, long story short, they wind up, resales weren't even on the radar, actually. Actually, they were totally closed off to a resale. They didn't want a resale. And we just said, hey, you might want to look at this opportunity. It's in your area, so on and so forth. And they wind up buying the Certa Pro. So I think they'll be very, very successful. So congratulations, Liz. Okay, franchise of the week. Mark, we never talk about like retail based one. So this one took me a long time to put together because a lot of the times I'm repurposing some of the old newsletters and just updating the numbers. This time I put it all together brand new. But I figured because you had talked about this brand, I think in one of our team meetings the other day, right? And then, we were kind of talking about how, hey, there's some people that may want something with a retail location. We talk a lot about service brands. So tell us, what is Hello Sugar? And is it only for female franchisees?
It's not only for female franchisees. They actually have, I think it's pretty close to a 50-50 split, if I'm not mistaken. It is a hair removal franchise, and that's about my level of expertise on hair removal. The only hair I ever remove is when I shave my face in the morning. So I'm not a big customer of hair removal, but apparently both men and women are, and it's a thriving, growing category. Hello Sugar, and I laugh when I say this because I explain this to candidates, and my preface is I don't know which one of these are good or not. But if you are in this industry, they offer the three major types of hair removal, which is wax, sugar, and laser hair removal. But that's what they do, but they have a very unique approach to it. So their innovative approach to the technology and franchisor services reduces franchisee workload oversight requirements, allowing you to scale without the need to work long nights in the business. This is one of those rare brands, Tarek, that you can run the business like this and keep a job or keep something else because your technicians do the work. Their technology allows you to. I would say initially you're going to have to get involved with locations and build outs and things like that. But this is a true semi-passive business. We talk about that a lot. There's not a lot of them out there. This definitely is. They started in 2017 as a non-franchise business. I think Tarek, I don't know if you'll agree, but I find that most of the better brands didn't start out as franchising. They started out by entrepreneurs coming up with a really cool concept, mastering that, and then starting to franchise it. And here's an example of that. Started in 2022. The original owners still maintain 4 corporately owned territories. There are over 62 units that are open. They've awarded over 130 in the last couple of years. That's significant. Sometimes it takes 5-6 years. Sometimes people never get to 100. So they're getting there. Franchise fee at 50, royalty 6%, pretty standard. Currently, they do not have a brand fund. I'll explain that in a minute. Well, I'll explain that for a minute. The brand fund is usually a fee that the franchisees pay. Usually it's about a percentage or so, and that goes into the national brand fund that the franchisor uses at their discretion to the benefit of all franchisees. But if they don't have that enough of them up and running yet, they don't bother taking money from the franchisees. So that's why it's not there. In this case, it could be up to 2%. The total range, so this is kind of a cool concept too. They have a suite concept and a complete brick and mortar salon concept. The suite concept, you get in for 120 grand. The total investment for the full program is 615, but the suite allows you to start running. It's essentially a kind of a hub and spoke model where you're essentially leasing out space in other facilities for the purpose of starting this business. You don't require your own complete set of brick and mortar. I'd rather the franchisor explain the details of it. But the cool thing is that while it is a brick and mortar, it allows you to start running your business while you're building that brick and mortar opportunity. Liquid capital requirements and net worth are a tad higher, and as they are with all brick and mortar, because you got to build these things. So $500,000 in net worth, 150 grand liquid. And I guess we're going to go look at some of the item 19 information. This is through August of 24. So this is current. This would be their current FDD. Again, they have flagships and they have suites. As we said, the flagships are the brick and mortar models. So if you look, I'm not just going to read every line here, but franchised and affiliate flagships. So affiliate, I take the affiliate meaning that's their company units. So if you take their franchise units and their company units, the high was 1.1, the low was 369, the median 706, the average 725. 3 out of 7 were above that average, 4 out of 7 were below. And then if the other chart looks, that's just taking the company-owned location. So I think it's better to put the franchise locations in there if I was looking at it. And if you look at the gross revenue of the franchise flagships, the average is $369,000. So what's cool about this brand is it's relatively new. There's still a lot of really good territory left. I don't think I've seen any resales come up. Oh, I'm sorry. You got some more numbers to look at there, Tarek? I apologize.
This is now showing the suites.
Just the suites. Okay. So the suites will obviously have lower revenues because, again, that's not a full salon brick and mortar. So, again, you guys can read these numbers. I'm not going to take valuable time. We're here to answer any questions you guys might have about this. But Hello Sugar, like I said, if you're looking for a brick and mortar or an investment that you can run somewhat passively, and you're into the hair removal business, this is a great brand. And again, they're just kind of hitting their stride. And I've noticed more and more non-available markets over the last few months as these guys are growing.
Yeah.
A couple benefits of this concept, and I love this one. It's a receptionless model. Offshore technology allows them to run the business because the technicians are doing the work. It's saving money for the franchise owners. And again, technology is now leading the way. So it's a receptionless model. Again, you got the full house marketing team at your disposal, managing your local marketing efforts to help you drive growth. And they have what's called Hello Sugar University, which is where you're going to go for training, and your staff will get trained and you'll get trained as well. Again, they've thought of everything. And like I said, it's a really strong brand. 41% of their clients are recurring revenue customers. That means that it's a recurring revenue model. They sign up for monthly memberships. That means it's money in the bank. Those are great businesses to be part of. And again, because we have the suite process as well as the salons, you can get this up and running in 90 days with their help. And that's while you're looking to build the brick and mortar that's going to be your kind of your foundation.
That's so. We have another one here below, but I just wanted to comment on this. This is so unique.
It's very unique.
You're more familiar with this brand, Mark, but the fact that they have the suite option is pretty cool, because typically one of the biggest downsides to going with a brick and mortar type franchise is it just takes a long time to get up and open. I mean, on average, it's going to take you 9 months to a year. You're typically signing a 5 or 10-year lease. You're doing a, $300,000-$400,000 build out. And the fact that you can, potentially get up and running for about 100 grand and then pivot, build up a client base and then pivot to brick and mortar. I think that's actually very, very, very clever.
I think that's
I'm not sure how the execution of it all works, but sounds clever in theory.
I think that's why they're doing so well to that point. And when you say pivot, not only when you open up your salon, you could still have several suites. You can have it could be like a hub and spoke. You could have one salon and as many as you want on the suite. There's no limit to it, which is what I confirmed with them on it. So that's really cool. And I think you're even underestimating it. If you're going to build a brick and mortar, it's probably going to take you 6 months to find the lease, then maybe another 3 or 4 months to hire your contractor, then another 3 or 4 months if you don't have any delays. So that's about 18 months to get started. By the way, you're not gaining revenue, you're losing revenue. Every single week you're getting a bill on the cost of build outs. So it's going to you're not going to start seeing an ROI for a long, long time. Take it from someone who knows. We built our first Five Guys restaurant. We signed the lease in February of 2007 and opened the restaurant in April of 2008. It was almost, whatever, my dates may be wrong. It was 15 months before we were able to open the first restaurant. And it cost us $800,000 to build it, which means every week we were just killing ourselves. We were just like throwing money away every week. Oh, how much this week? We just felt like, Thurston Howell III on Gilligan's Island, just throwing money around. And again, it worked out well, but it's a very frustrating time. And what these guys at Hello Sugar have kind of figured out is how can we give the franchise owners some semblance of return on that investment while they're building it. Very, very intelligent move on their part.
Boom. Competitive advantages. We already talked about the reception list thing in Hello Sugar University, but what's interesting is it shows that they do lead generation for you. They manage your digital ads. That's huge. That's really big. I mean, for most businesses, guys, for many, many, many businesses, unless you're in food or I don't know, I'm trying to think of what else as a comparison, but you're really in the lead generation business. You're in the lead generation and conversion business. Of course, your business may be, let's say, home services or something like this, but you're only as good as the business you can generate. And a franchisor doing it for you is pretty incredible.
If I could put that into perspective for a second, your competitors in this category that are not franchises are trying to figure out on their own how to generate leads. They're burning through money. They're trying so many different things. They don't have it figured out. Meanwhile, day one, you've already got those experts who know how to find your customers working for you. It's one of the huge advantages to these kind of brick and mortar franchises versus non-franchises.
Boom. We covered a lot about this brand. They also have some in-house reporting systems, KPI dashboards, which is pretty cool, guys. That having attempted to, I remember about a year ago, I hired a developer to get like some custom reporting and KPI dashboards built out. And $2,500 later, we still weren't even close to done, and I just pulled the plug on the project. So something like this may sound simple, like, okay, cool, reporting systems and KPI dashboards, but that stuff is actually more of a pain in the butt and more expensive to get up and running than you think it is. I promise you from experience, it is.
No doubt about it.
Okay, cool. If you guys want to know if your territory is available, you can go to the thing scrolling down at the bottom, franchiseempire.com/check territory. Even if you aren't interested in that specific franchise concept, then there are a lot more. So if you just want to find out, hey, what what could be opportunities that align with my skill sets and, you know, what I'm looking to build and the lifestyle that I want, then you can go there and schedule as well. And our team can help assist you with that. Okay. Last but not least is the most recent video that went live for us is buying a franchise in 2025, a huge mistake. In this video, we show you why 35% of franchise owners regret their decision, mostly because a lot of people buy the wrong franchise. They don't get professional help. Most people, the way they go about buying a franchise is they go inside some sort of location that they like as a consumer, like their little treat shop or dessert shop or smoothie shop or whatever. And then they go, "Ooh, I love this. I'm going to buy one." and believe it or not, that is how most people make their franchise buying decision. So, anyways, in this video, it's on the Franchise Empire channel. Walk through a bunch of pros and cons about buying a franchise. And so definitely go check that out. You can definitely watch it on YouTube on the Franchise Empire channel. With that said, that's all I got. Anything else to add, Mark?
No, just on the last comment about, you know, buying the wrong franchise, I think that's probably one of the greatest reasons why people like our company exists, because we've worked with these brands. We know some, you know, so many people that we've placed, we've had ongoing conversations with. We can make sure we're only presenting to you guys brands that are pro franchisee, that have done really, really well. And if no other reason, you should give us a call, at least listen to what we have to say, because doing something like this on your own, to Tarek's point, has potentially catastrophic results if you don't do it right. So we'd love to hear from anybody out there who would like a initial conversation.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. By the way, if you got value out of this video, will you do us a favor and just press the like button on YouTube before you leave? It actually helps tremendously, helps the algorithm show the video to more people. I appreciate it in advance, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.